Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. We'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So this is something that I've been itching to get to here. So yesterday, heading into the Game 3 of the New York Knicks versus the San Antonio Spurs, Stephen A. Smith, not just him, we did a show about it. Even Mace did it. But Stephen A. Smith said that he essentially said that if the New York Knicks lose the game against the Spurs, he's going to blame it on Donald Trump. We did a show about this yesterday. So after the Knicks lost, you guys saw the game, I just knew that he was going to do this. So I saw a segment. Was it on Get Up this morning or something? No. It was last night after the game. He was on, was this Scott Van Pelt's show? I think he was there with him and Mike Wilbon. And anyway, he said he's going to reserve his thoughts about Trump messing up the game for ESPN First Take. So luckily, as I was wrapping up shooting here, I came across the clip. But before we get into that, I want to play what the president had to say in response to Stephen A. Smith's comments yesterday, because he essentially called him low IQ. Take a listen to this here.
It was, I think, mostly cheers. It was loud and it was very enthusiastic.
Mr. President, ESPN commentator Stephen A. Smith, who was talking about running for president, said he would blame you if the Knicks lost the game. How do you respond to that?
I think he's a nice guy, but you need a certain aptitude to run for president. You need a high IQ. I'm not sure that Stephen has that. I don't think he does, actually.
So you heard what President Trump had to say. So Stephen A. Smith decided, I guess in some kind of joke to be the president, he put up the American flag behind him and he's standing in front of a lectern. And he decided to basically go to war with President Donald Trump over him attending the game, messing up the vibes, and causing utter chaos in New York City. But before we even get into Smith's comments, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. The NBA Finals are here, and for me, the basketball doesn't stop once they crown a champion, because this summer of sports is genuinely stacked. I have been making all my picks on Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. Here's what I genuinely enjoy about it. During the finals, I'm making picks on points, rebounds, and three-pointers, and then I can stack those player picks with soccer, baseball, or the W, and even bigger payouts. It is simply selecting more or less on a few player stats, putting them into one lineup, and following along within the same app. And it's now available in all 50 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. In the finals, this is where legacies are made. You can get in on one of the biggest games of the season and make your picks on everything from points and rebounds to dunks, three-pointers, and fantasy score, all before the champion is crowned. Prize Picks is a preferred partner of the NBA, making every game even more exciting to watch. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Okay, fantastic. So what we want to do is we want to play what Stephen A. Smith had to say here to President Donald Trump, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a look at this here.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? Our president showed up in New York City last night. And needless to say, what I feared would happen ended up happening. The New York Knicks lost. And obviously, I'm blaming him. Why am I blaming him, ladies and gentlemen? It's very, very simple. Because the president disrupted our mojo. I've said this on many occasions over the last 24 hours, and I'm saying it again. The man messed things up. Now, why did I bring this up? Why was it important for me to discuss this? There's several reasons. Number one, the New York Knicks haven't won a title since 1973. At that time, our president was 26 years of age. He was not a toddler. He was not a child. He was there. He was there in 70 when Willis Reed walked through the tunnel. He was there in 1973 when Walt Clyde Frazier dropped 30 plus in a game 7. He knows over the last 53 years, we haven't had a moment to celebrate since that period in time. And he knows how miserable New York fans have been. Why? Because he's a Queens native. He's from this area. He knows exactly what New Yorkers have been through, and he didn't care. Why would I bring up the importance of him not caring? Because, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know, 3,578,599 people in the state of New York voted for this man. That equated to 43.3%. Was it enough to win New York from an electoral college standpoint? No, but it was enough to give the Republican Party about a 10% jump over the Democrats in terms of what it was compared to 2020. New Yorkers have looked out for this man. I thought he was supposed to be looking out for us. He wants to sit up there and talk about my low IQ. We'll get to that in a second, because that part really, really made me laugh. But wait for that. Instead, let me stick to the New York Knicks for a quick second here. Not only did we lose the game, did you see traffic? Did you see the watch party that wasn't outside of Madison Square Garden? Did you see thousands upon thousands of faithful New York Knicks fans that were forced to remove themselves from the area? They're going to sit there and tell you there was some condensed area that was blocked off. I was on 25th Street. I couldn't get through it with my car. I was on 39th Street. I saw cars that couldn't get through. From 6th Avenue to 9th Avenue, you had people complaining about how hectic it was because this barricade, this blockage, this wall that was being built by folks for the garden because of the climate that existed. Somehow, some way, it was there to protect him. And guess what he was doing during the game, ladies and gentlemen? Go online, look at the videos. I'm not going to accuse him of snoring because I wasn't in earshot. But the brother wasn't awake. He wasn't awake. If it was that important for you to be there, why did you look like you were asleep? Didn't you call our former President Joe Biden Sleepy Joe? Or what should we call you? Because you weren't awake. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks were blowing Game 3. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks, a team you pretend to love, a team that you had season tickets to, a team that you have supported throughout the years, you turned your back on them. That's what you did for your own selfish, narcissistic motives. I told you if you showed up, what could potentially happen. And it ended up happening. And now the New York Knicks have to go back to San Antonio. Why? For Game 5. Why? Because you got in the way for your own selfish motives.
Excellent. So you saw that there. What are my thoughts about this? I think all of this is just theater. 100% I think it's theater. That's number one. Number two, Stephen A. Smith knows who to play with and he knows who not to play with. Trump called him low IQ. Did you hear Stephen A. Smith fire back at him with any kind of fervor and viciousness? No. Because he knows who he can play with and he knows who he can't play with. And Donald Trump is not someone you want to play with. Because you see, he'll go after media members. Like, he'll put you on the, he'll go after you. So you have that there. And I know, obviously, his supporters are going to be absolutely pissed off. And by Trump supporters, I'm talking about Trump supporters. Now, here's something interesting that is worth sharing with you guys. Last night, I came across a post before the game started, and this was posted by Patrick Bet-David. And Patrick Bet-David is actually a big fan of Trump. And I'm going to read what Patrick Bet-David said. He said this: I don't see the benefit of President Trump attending the Knicks game tonight. The Knicks are on a 13-game playoff win streak. If they lose, they'll blame it on the president. And if the Spurs come back and win it all, New Yorkers will never forgive him. Well, that's what Bet-David said yesterday. And today, just kind of combing through the internet here and seeing what people are saying, even Mace this morning said the same thing. Mace said the exact same thing. So, well, I guess this is all part of the sports world and landscape, but this thing is now turned into one big spectacle. Do I think President Trump being there had an effect on the city? Absolutely, man. Come on. You saw the excitement, but it didn't stop Knicks fans from acting a damn fool after the game. I can tell you that. And I got to say this because we said it in the live. What do some of y'all think this is? Do you think it's like y'all going to like Neverland or Peter Pan Land or Narnia or something like that? Who are these Spurs fans that went to the Knicks game wearing Spurs jerseys? Are you serious? You saw the videos of Spurs fans. Why would you do that? You're literally watching videos of Knicks fans rioting when they win. And you thought it was a good idea to go to the Garden? with the Spurs jersey on after they lost? What did you think was going to happen? Like, at a certain point, apply some damn logic and common sense. Where's your wisdom? They were over there whooping Spurs fans at. What do you think this is, bro? I'm not condoning it, but at the same time, like, did you really need to do that? Did you really need to? I don't understand what people be think. I don't understand what people think sometimes. Like, I don't get it. What did you think this was, bro? I don't know. Like, that one really, really floored me. But you guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. Catch you on the next show. Peace.